It's nice and flat. But everyone here okay? Oh, we'll begin in a couple of minutes. Paul, your camera's still doing something that reminds me of the Beatles' Yellow Submarine 1968. If it does continue, you may have to switch off your camera. Or hit it a couple of times. Not sure why it's doing that. Sakashi, maybe you could switch back and forth a few times between the room here and the group when you think it's appropriate. Right. Sakashi's also done this about 10 times, I think, now. Right? That's a nice close-up. You get a nice, you can really see the altar today. Beautiful. Now, bell.
That is a good view. That is a good view. Yeah.
Why don't you sit there for a second? Let me make sure you're quite visible there when you're sitting.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm going to achieve his levels here.
Barely visible over here.
One second. There you go. Right? Oh no, let me sit naturally. Sit naturally. There you are. Perfect. Perfect. Good. Why don't you take position? I'll light the candle and then we'll get started. Actually, give me another minute. I have something to do over here before I forget. Are you ready, Sakashi? Everyone, welcome. Welcome. This is our 2023 Jukai Undertaking the Precepts ceremony at Treeleaf Sangha. We have 22 new Jukais here today. We have people who are joining us. We have actually a second room where people are sitting with us live. people renewing their vows, people who are just here to offer their love and support. We have our priests who are here today. Many people gathering. There are people who will be joining us later. I will talk in a little bit about the significance of today. But right now we're going to begin, as we always do, with an offering of incense, followed by 3 bows. To those who are able, I encourage you to do deep bows, do what your body allows, and then we will recite the Heart Sutra, followed by a few minutes of Zazen, and then we will begin our ceremony.
The heart of the perfection of great wisdom, Sutra. Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva, awakened one of compassion in Prajna Paramita, the deep practice of perfect wisdom. Perceive the emptiness of all 5 conditions and was free of suffering. O Shariputra, form is no other than emptiness, emptiness no other than form, form is precisely emptiness, emptiness precisely form, sensations, perceptions, formations, and consciousness are also like this, O Shariputra. All things are expressions of emptiness, not born, not destroyed, not stained, not pure, neither waxing nor waning. Thus emptiness is not form, not sensation nor perception, not formation nor consciousness, no eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, no sight, sound, smell, taste, touch, nor object of mind, no consciousness, no ignorance, no end to ignorance, no old age and death, no cessation of old age and death, no suffering, nor cause or end to suffering, no path, no wisdom, and no gain, thus bodhisattvas live this prajna paramita with no hindrance of mind, no hindrance, therefore no fear, far beyond all delusion. Nirvana is already here. All past, present, and future Buddhas live this prajna paramita and realize supreme and complete enlightenment. Therefore know that prajna paramita is the sacred mantra, the luminous mantra, the supreme mantra, the incomparable mantra, by which all suffering is clear. This is no other than truth. Therefore set forth the prajna paramita mantra. Set forth this mantra and proclaim gate, gate, paragate, parasamgate, bodhisowaka. Hanya Shinyo. Buddha nature pervades the whole universe, reality existing right here now. In reciting the heart of the perfection of great wisdom sutra, and on our undertaking and upholding the precepts, we dedicate our sincere efforts to Shakyamuni Buddha, honored one, the historical Buddha and teacher, and to those ancestral teachers, Eihei Dogen, honored one, Soji Keizan, honored one, all successive honored ones up until Zuigaku Renpo, honored one, and Gudo Wafu, honored one, and to all other honored ones throughout history, same yet diverse honored ones whose names have been forgotten or left unsaid. We also dedicate these efforts to the three treasures, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, to all awakened ones and teachers in all places and times. We especially seek tranquility and well-being for all creatures now suffering or ill in health. May they be serene through all their ills. May their lives be at peace and wisdom pervade the darkness of ignorance. We dedicate our hopes and aspirations to all victims of war and violence and natural events, to the injured and to all families touched by these tragedies, to the healing of hatred in all countries and among all peoples, to the wisdom and compassion of our world leaders, to the peace of the world and harmony of all beings. Thus let the harmful effects of words, thoughts, and actions be dispelled, and compassion bloom in perpetual spring. May we all realize and live the enlightened way together. All Buddhas throughout space and time, all Bodhisattvas, Mahasattvas, Maha Prajna Paramita.
If you can, please be seated for Zazen. If our Jukais are already standing, you may remain standing for a few minutes as you wish. If you have a little altar and incense in your room and you have not yet lit the incense, please do so now. Well, hello everyone. Welcome. Chris, take your seat here. Chris is with us today here in Scuba. Can you be seen? He will sometimes be the hands and heart of everyone here representing you, but you are all here. The wonderful thing about this Jukai ceremony, which we have done, I think Is this the 13th time? Something like that. People coming from so many different places here in Japan, Russia, North America, Europe, South America. You are all right here in this Zendo. We Zen folks don't care about little things like time and space, you know. We are all together right here. And my hands become your hands, and your hands become my hands. And sometimes some of you have friends and family who are there who will be assisting you. Their hands are my hands, which we say are just the Buddha's hands. And all the ages of tradition are here today with us. You see, this is a ceremony where we don't care very much about when it is or where it is. It's all right here. And you all have worked very hard for many months, reflecting on each of the precepts, thinking about and feeling where these fit in your life, and also sewing a raksu, which, as you found out, was not just an exercise in thread and cloth, but was a matter of the heart, because our life is sewing, you know, and we make mistakes and we fix them as best we can, and it's never perfect, but it's beautiful nonetheless. This robe that I'm wearing, that I tell people each time, it's not supposed to be a thing of beauty. It's called a funzoe, a rag cloth sewn by our great Raksu sewing teacher, Taigu, who's always here with us too. It's supposedly meant to represent, how to say, not a thing of beauty, a treasure, but the ordinary. It's made of discarded pieces, in this case of kimono and various things that Taigu found and sewn together. And isn't that what our community is? Just all of us, little broken pieces, all sewn together, coming together as one today. That to me is the meaning of Jukai. And there's one more meaning. I happened to be reading Okamura Roshi before I came here today, and he said there are two kinds of precepts, and I'd like to impress this upon you. Of course, there's the precepts where we try to live in a way which is healthful and not harmful, a way that's beneficial as best we can, never perfectly, but as best we can. And if we make mistakes, we try to head in that good direction, not in the direction where there is harm. But there's another meaning here, which is that sometimes it's expressed in English as at one-ment, not only atonement, but at one-ment. There's something in our Zazen where there never is a precept that can be broken. There is something just right and good, where there's nothing to steal, no lives to be taken, nothing we can do wrong. And our practice is to realize that both of this is true. We try to live as gently as we can, but yet there is something about this reality where no wrong can be done. And it's just, shall we say, kind of naturally right. And I want you to feel both of those in your heart today as we begin this ceremony. So let me put my glasses on and see where we're supposed to be here. All right, you've lit your incense, hopefully, and you're standing in shashu with your hands in front of your chest like this, right? Over your fist, right? Over your heart. That's how we stand. Sometimes when we do a vow, I'd like you to be in gasho, right? All right, but right now, please stand in shashu. And I'm going to say a few words and directing you to bow to people that we honor for bringing us here today. And I'm also going to ask us to request to be part of this ceremony. It's perfectly voluntary. Nothing forces anyone to be here. And as a matter of fact, it's not too late to change your mind, even now. But if you wish to be here, I will now ask you to please agree to be here. But first, we're going to bow to the people that we feel gratitude for. So I would like you to bow first in the direction of your parents. And if they're no longer with us in this world, the direction where your hometown was, that you associate with them, maybe where they are buried, even whatever your relationship was with them, we feel gratitude they brought us into this world. Would you please just bow 3 times in the direction where your parents are? All right. Now, I'm going to ask you to bow towards me, but it's not to me. It's not to me. I'm like the judge who sits here representing the court, you know. You're not, when someone says your honor and we all rise, it's not for the person, it's for what it represents. In this case, when you're bowing in this direction and towards the altar, it's for the lineage and the gratitude of all the people for thousands of years who contributed to our being here today. Let us bow 3 times to each other and to the lineage. Very good. All right. Now I'm going to ask everyone, we're going to try something we couldn't do just a couple of years ago. Everyone, put your microphones on. I think we can all be heard all around the world at the same time. A couple of years ago, this would have just exploded our system. But this year it's possible, I think. So try to switch it on. Very good. I would like everyone with hands joined in Gasho to repeat after me. Life and death are of supreme importance.
Life
and death are of supreme importance.
And time swiftly passes by.
and
And
time
time swiftly passes by.
Thus I wish to receive
Thus I wish to receive
the great precepts of Gautama Buddha.
the
the
great
great precepts of Gautama Buddha.
Please permit me to receive the precepts.
please
Please permit me to receive the precepts.
Lovely. Now I say to you, I am very glad you are asking to receive the precepts. Please bow in this direction towards the lineage 3 times. Now I will read to you some traditional words that truly stretch back. People have been saying these words in different languages for centuries and centuries. The great precepts of Gautama Buddha were kept by all Buddhas. They were transmitted from Buddha to Buddha, and they were received by ancestor after ancestor. The receiving of the precepts transcends the 3 kinds of time, past, present, and future. And the experience of truth will continue forever. Our great teacher, Gautama Buddha, transmitted the precepts to Master Mahakashapa. Master Mahakashapa transmitted the precepts to Master Ananda. And it is said the transmission of the precepts has continued in this way, passing from orthodox successor to orthodox successor in one line. And so, after many ages, has come to me. Now I am bestowing the precepts upon you to return the profound benevolence of our great teacher, Gautama Buddha, and to make you the standard for human beings and all life. We trust this to be the true recognition and reception of Gautama Buddha's wisdom and life. Respectfully following the approval of Gautama Buddha, we would like to devote ourselves to the precepts and atone. Now, I will read some words and I will ask you to repeat them after me. Listen to my words and wholeheartedly say the same words after each line. All harmful acts, words, and thoughts
all
harmful acts, words, and thoughts
ever committed by me since of old,
ever committed by me since of old,
on account of beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance,
on
on
account
account of beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance,
born of my body, mouth, and mind,
born of the body, mind.
now I atone for them all.
Now I atone for them all.
We will now commence with the bestowal of the precepts. And so, please now receive the precepts precisely. Thus, first we undertake the 3 devotions. By the way, Sekishi, just for a moment, may I see everyone on the screen? I'd just like to say hello to everyone.
Can't switch your screen. Sorry.
Can you hand me the mouse over there? Just let me try. Thank you. Does that do it? Anyway, I see everyone, and good to see you all. Such lovely faces. I just wanted to make sure I was looking at everyone face to face and eye to eye. Very good. Now, the 3 devotions. And so now receive the precepts precisely. Thus, first we undertake the 3 devotions. Please join your hands in Gasho and repeat after me. Respectful devotion to Buddha, respectful devotion to Dharma, respectful devotion to Sangha.
Respectful devotion to Buddha, respectful devotion to Dharma, respectful devotion to Sangha.
Devotion to Buddha, the guiding one.
Devotion to Buddha, the guiding one.
Devotion to Dharma, the reality and teaching.
Devotion to Dharma, reality and teaching.
Devotion to Sangha, the embracing community.
Devotion to Sangha, embracing community.
Sincere devotion to Buddha, sincere devotion to Dharma, sincere devotion to Sangha.
Sincere devotion to Buddha, sincere devotion to Dharma, sincere devotion to Sangha.
Please bow 3 times in the direction of the lineage. Now we will do a traditional little ceremony that represents the bloodline flowing through me to you and back again. And the way this is traditionally done is I take some water from the Himalayas, symbolically, and if you have a leaf or twig, I asked you to receive, right? Now I'm going to dip this 3 times and touch my head. Chris, would you come over here? You're going to kind of represent everyone here. Would you kind of get down here, right? Okay. First, I'm going to do it for everyone. So I touch my head 3 times, right? And everyone, would you hold out your leaf to me? Very good. Now touch your head 3 times. Very good. Now please return my energy back to me. I need it back. Thank you. Very good. Thank you, Chris. The giving of the precepts of 3 demotions is like this. From now on, Gautama Buddha and all Buddhas are your great teacher. Never devote yourself to false teachings, harmful teachings, or the like. These precepts were retained by Buddhas of the past. They were transmitted by the ancestors, and now I give them to you. You should retain them sincerely. Now, when I ask you this question, I want you to say, yes, I will, but I want to hear that you mean it. All right?
Yes.
All right. You got it. Ready? Number 1 of the 3 pure and universal precepts, to seek as you can in this body and life to avoid doing harm. This precept was retained by Buddhas of the past. It was transmitted by ancestor to ancestor. Now I bestow this upon you. Will you seek to keep this precept from now to the end of your life?
Yes, I will.
I will.
Yes, I
Will
will.
you seek to keep this precept from now to the end of your life?
Yes,
I
will.
Will you seek to keep this precept from now to the end of your life?
Yes,
I will.
Number 2, to seek as you can in this body and life to live in a healthful, HEALTHFUR, and helping way, doing good. This precept was retained by Buddhas of the past. It was transmitted by ancestor to ancestor. Now I bestow this upon you. Will you seek to keep this precept from now to the end of your life?
Yes, I will.
Let me really hear you. Will you seek to keep this precept from now to the end of your life?
yes,
I will.
That was better. Will you seek to keep this precept from now to the end of your life?
Yes, I will. Yes, I will.
Number 3, to seek as you can in this body and life to live for the benefit of all sentient beings. This precept was retained by Buddhas of the past. It was transmitted by ancestor to ancestor. Now I bestow this upon you. Will you seek to keep this precept from now to the end of your life?
Yes, I
Yes,
will.
I will.
Will you seek to keep this precept from now to the end of your life?
Yes,
Yes,
I
I
will.
will.
Let me hear you really on this one. Will you seek to keep this precept from now to the end of your life?
Yes, I will.
You should do your best. You should do your best to keep these precepts. Please bow 3 times in the direction of the lineage. Now I will read the 10 fundamental precepts. As I read them, please hear them in your heart with all sincerity. Number 1, to seek as you can in this body and life to refrain from the killing of life. Number 2, to seek as you can in this body and life to live in generosity and refrain from taking that which is not given. Number 3, to seek as you can in this body and life to refrain from misusing sexuality and all desire. Number 4, to seek as you can in this body and life to refrain from false and malicious speech. 5, to seek as you can in this body and life to refrain from intoxication in its many forms. 6, to seek as you can in this body and life to refrain from unconstructively criticizing the errors and faults of others. Number 7, to seek as you can in this body and life to refrain from praising oneself and judging others. 8, to seek as you can in this body and life to refrain from stinginess in bestowing the Buddhist teachings and all precious things. 9, to seek as you can in this body and life to refrain from all anger. 10, to seek as you can in this body and life to refrain from disparaging the 3 treasures, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. These precepts were retained by Buddhas of the past. They were transmitted by ancestor to ancestor. Now I bestow them upon you. Will you seek to keep these precepts from now to the end of your life?
Yes, I will.
Will you seek to keep these precepts from now to the end of your life?
Yes,
Yes,
I will.
Will you seek to keep these precepts from now to the end of your life?
Yes, I will.
You should do your best to keep these precepts. Please bow 3 times in the direction of the lineage. And now I will recite a concluding verse and ask you the question one more time. These 16 Buddhist precepts are the 3 devotions, the 3 pure and universal precepts, and the 10 fundamental precepts. They were retained by Buddhas of the past. They were transmitted by ancestor to ancestor. Now I bestow them upon you. Will you seek to keep these precepts from now to the end of your life?
Yes,
I will.
Will you seek to keep these precepts from now to the end of your life?
Yes, I will.
Okay, this is the last chance, the last one. So give it that extra, right? I want to hear that sincerity. Will you seek to keep these precepts from now to the end of your life?
Yes, I will.
I think they mean it. Yes. You should do your best to keep these precepts. Please bow 3 times in the direction of the lineage. Lovely, lovely. Have a seat, Chris. Have a seat here, because Chris is going to be my hands. Chris has sewn a Roxu with all of you. His Roxu will represent all of your Roxu here. My heart goes to you across the world. My hands handed to you. Please feel it as I place it in your hands. All right. If you have sewn a Roxu, please raise it respectfully before you now. You can remove it from its cover. Here is one that Chris has sewn. Let me incense here. Get a little smoke going. There we go. Please receive this Roxu, Chris, and place it upon your head. Have a seat, you can. And now I will ask you to repeat after me the Take-sage, the verse of the Kessa. We will read it 3 times. Sometime it would be nice to learn this by heart. Please repeat after me. Robe of liberation boundless.
Robe of liberation boundless.
Field beyond both form and formless.
Field beyond form and formless.
Wearing the Tathagata's teachings.
Wearing the Tathagata's teachings.
Bowing to free all sentient beings.
Bowing to free all sentient beings.
Robe of liberation boundless.
Robe of liberation boundless.
Field beyond both form and formless.
Field beyond both form and formless.
Wearing the Tathagata's teachings.
Wearing the Tathagata's teachings.
Bowing to free all sentient beings.
Bowing to free all sentient beings.
Robe of liberation boundless.
Robe of liberation boundless.
Field beyond both form and formless.
Field beyond both form and formless.
Wearing the Tathagata's teachings.
Wearing the Tathagata's teachings.
Bowing to free all sentient beings.
Bowing to free all sentient beings.
Lovely. Please respectfully lower your Raksu. You might touch it briefly to your forehead and then place it on. Congratulations. And now I will bestow the lineage certificate. I have Chris's here, and we actually have, as you know, different lineage certificates in our Sangha. Is it in there? Yes, there it is. All right. Very good. Oh, you took it out. Okay. One moment. Please raise up your lineage certificate which you have received. I will now incense this. And please receive it in your hands. Chris? Next in our Sangha, we have not only the traditional lineage of the ancestors in our Soto line, stretching from Nishijima Roshi, Niwa Zenji back to Buddha, including Bodhidharma and the sixth ancestor and all the greats, Dogen Zenji, Keizan Zenji. But in our Sangha, we felt it important to include the other great ancestors who are known and unknown, who have contributed to our being here. And I read this. This is the Treeleaf blood lineage chart of our women and differently abled ancestors. We honor and recognize those ancestors who have brought us here, those who encountered barriers of sex and birth, those of different body and special mind so often misunderstood by the many, those who may have met with exclusion or fear, those for whom the path was filled with obstacles and barriers. We honor those for whom the entrance was so often denied and halls once barred, the successive generations of Buddhas and ancestors who transmitted the flame, those who have struggled with addictions and confusion and depression and mental conditions so often misunderstood, all forms of physical and mental challenges, those who have been discriminated against for any reason, but were sincere in their pursuit of the Dharma. This is for them, and countless others whose names have been forgotten or left unsaid. Thus, let me bestow this lineage chart. Please receive it in your hands. And also we have one more for our ancestors, same yet diverse, whoever you are. If you're good and sincere in heart, we thank you for having brought us here today. Please receive this in your hands. Your Raksu, it goes the other way, my friend. I just showed Chris. If you're wearing a Raksu, make sure it's facing the right direction. The inside is on the inside. Yes, Chris. Very good. Here you go. And now, I will read the names, the Dharma names, which have been given today. And you should all hear your name. I'm not going to say who they belong to, but the names that have been bestowed. Here is our list of names. I will also give this a little purifying smoke. There we are. Wako, the Peace Lake. And I have to say that that was a name given to someone who is in a war zone or a country involved in war right now. Open Sky, Kaiku. I'm going to say this is for Chris. Chris is a pretty darn good guitarist and he rides a bicycle. So this name was pretty easy. Onrin, musical wheels. Daimon, great fulfillment. That was a name that Daimon had before he came to us. He's had Jukai elsewhere, and we honor that and the great teacher who bestowed that name upon him. Koriki, wide, boundless power. Kosai, small cultivation. Heikyo, for one of our school teachers, balanced teaching. Ichiki, one fork of like a fork in a road. Uran, the cosmic egg. I like that name. That was a personal favorite. Zenken, the Zen dog. Here's another teacher. Jikyo, healing teaching. Aegon, the shadow face. This was from one of our members who also is a Christian in heart. We don't, you can be many things here. So this is Jipo, cross or crucifix, Dharma. This is from to one of our members who never tires and always does 110%. His name is Taido, lazy effort. Shinchi, heart healing, not to be confused with our Shinchi with an S. This is Shinchi, C-H-I, Shinchi, heart healing. Kato, flower island. Mokuseki, the silent stone. Rosso, this was for someone whose several efforts came together. People sewed a Raksu and came together and got the Raksu to this person. So the name Rosso means labor joined or labor cooperatively put together. Mokuso, silent music. For one of our martial artists. Buyo, martial nurturing. Onki, which is for our member Onki, kindness energy. Hi Onki, give me a wave. Here you are. Yeah. Mayun, clear clouds. I think that's everyone. If I have missed someone, I apologize, but you're all here. It's all been bestowed. All right. Please bow in 3 times in the directions of the lineage, having received your Raksu, your lineage papers, and your names. Please bow 3 times. Now we come to the symbolic closing of the ceremony. But what happens here, you know, is you have now taken your place in the lineage. So I now give my seat here, which represents the seat of all the ancestors, to you. And you will come and sit here. Now, of course, you will travel in your hearts from across the world and be sitting here. Chris here, I'm going to borrow, his body will represent all of you, and he's going to sit here. And I will now circle 3 times around you. Now, I'm actually not going to circle 3 times because our room is a little small here, but in our hearts it will be 3 times. And not only me, I'm going to ask all our other members and priests at home who have received Jukai in the past also to rise, and in their hearts they will be circling around you too as you sit here. All right, let me give you my seat. Every year it takes me a little longer to get up. 1 second. Okay, Chris. Let me incense this one more time. Now I have a little bell here. Have a seat, Chris. There you are. And everyone's seated here. I have a little bell here I brought from Korea a few years ago. We really only use it once a year for this ceremony. Now let me read these words. We will now symbolically exchange places. Symbolically, as I circle around you, all members of the Sangha who have previously undertaken Jukai, all teachers, all Buddhas and ancestors are circling around you to welcome you. Please close your eyes and see that you are now sitting where I am sitting. Picture yourself sitting in this chair where I have been sitting. Place your hands in Gasho and see me and all the Buddhas and ancestors as we now circle you 3 times, and I intone the traditional words. A person who receives the Buddhist precepts enters the state of Buddha at once. They stand at the same level as Gautama Buddha. We can say they are a child of Buddha. A person who receives the Buddhist precepts enters the state of Buddha at once. They stand at the same level as Gautama Buddha. We can say they are a child of Buddha. A person who receives the Buddhist precepts enters the state of Buddha at once. They stand at the same level as Gautama Buddha. We can say they are a child of the Buddha. A person who receives the Buddhist precepts enters the state of Buddha at once. They stand at the same level as Gautama Buddha. We can say they are a child of Buddha. A person who receives the Buddhist precepts enters the state of Buddha at once. They stand at the same level as Gautama Buddha. We can say they are a child of Buddha. A person who receives the Buddhist precepts enters the state of Buddha at once. They stand at the same level as Gautama Buddha. We can say they are a child of Buddha. A person who receives the Buddhist precepts enters the state of Buddha at once. They stand at the same level as Gautama Buddha. We can say they are a child of Buddha. All right, I will now replace the bell. Chris, I will ask for my seat back. Thank you. It was only a loaner. And you know what? We have come to the end. All right, give me 5. Now, I will close this with the very simple words. No great explanation needed, but before I do, I'd just like to ask you this. Later, if you could, in our forum, in the thread, write your feelings. If you're just greetings to everyone, just whatever you're feeling here. I wish we could go around right now and I could ask each one of you to say a few words, but we would love to hear from you in the next day or so when you can. Whatever you have to say. It's been lovely taking this voyage with you these last 3 months. I especially want to thank our Shuso priests, the folks who helped through Ango and got everyone sorted through Jukai, the beginning, and the sewing practice, our sewing team. You know who you are, and I just want to express my gratitude to all of them, but also to all of you for all the hard work and effort you've done these past weeks, okay? Now I'm going to read the very simple closing words, and then we silently go home. That's it, all right? The ceremony is now concluded. Let us live this life. Thank you all. Love you all. See you. Come, give a wave, Chris. See you all.
Thank you, Junda.
Love you all. Bye
Thank
bye.
you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
Bye,
very
everyone.
much.
See you soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
everyone.
Take care.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sexy. Your Roxy's on the way, Jack. See you soon.